Hello students, in this video we will try to understand what are Fourier sine series and transformation. For that I am going to consider a simple pendulum oscillating at 2 Hz frequency. That is, it oscillates 2 times per second. Okay, what if we plot the position of pendulum versus time? Yes, definitely it will be a sinusoidal function and it looks like this. And in general, it can be given by f of t is equal to a sine of omega t plus pi. But in this case, our angular frequency omega is 2 and we are not going to deal with the phase pi. So let it be 0. Our equation for this pendulum becomes f of t is equal to a sine of 2t, where a is amplitude, that is the maximum displacement of pendulum from its mean position, right? Observe that the plot goes up to infinite time if there is no damping factor at all. But instead of plotting the graph of position versus time, what if we plot position versus frequency? Watch it. It looks so simple, right? That's it. This type of transformation from time domain to frequency domain is nothing but Fourier transformation. Okay, before diving further into the subject, let's play with some sine functions. Now let's attach another pendulum to the bob of first pendulum and let's see what will happen. Remember here, I am not going to consider the things like mass of the bob, air drag and many other things which makes the thing very difficult to understand. To make it easy to understand, I will denote the first pendulum by u is equal to b sine of bt and second pendulum as v is equal to a sine of at. Before attaching them to each other, let's check their variables. If I vary the amplitude b, you can see that its amplitude is varying. And if I vary frequency b, it's getting denser or rarer. So similarly, if I vary amplitude and frequency of second pendulum, the same thing will happen. Okay, now let's attach them to each other. Let w is equal to a sine of at plus b sine of bt be its resultant wave. Again, for simplicity, I am keeping amplitudes as 1 unit and I will vary only the frequencies. Also remember guys, it is difficult to animate these two pendulums, so I am giving a website link in the description, so you make sure to check it. Let's vary frequencies a and b and let's see what will be the resultant. Just observe here that the resultant wave omega is somewhat different than the rest two. However, observe another thing, that its pattern is repeating after regular intervals. Then the thing is clear that any odd periodic function can be created simply by superimposing many sine waves, or any odd periodic function can be expressed as a series of sinusoidal functions, and this is called as Fourier sine series. That's okay, but in general, how can we find the right frequencies of sinusoidal waves that gives the resultant wave? Okay, there are two ways. First, try all the combination of frequencies for all infinite number of sine waves until you get the answer. Then let's try to look at another way. For this, I am going to consider an example. Let's say sine of 2 times t. Now I want to find the area under this curve. Then obviously, depending on the limits, I will get either 0 or an oscillating result, but I will never get the actual answer of this function. Okay, then let me multiply a general sinusoidal function sine of omega into t, and let's vary the value of omega. Observe that as I change the value of omega, resultant will also change, but keep an eye on the pattern. When omega becomes equal to 2, then the resultant wave will lie entirely on the positive side of time axis. Only at this point, the area under the curve can be found exactly. And in all other remaining values of omega, the area will be either 0 or near to 0. Interesting, isn't it? So, what's happening here? Nothing. The function sine of omega t is simply picking the right frequency, that is 2 Hz. Now, if we write the same thing in mathematical form, it will be integration from 0 to infinity sine of 2 times t multiplied by sine of omega t into dt. Because we know that on integrating a function, we actually find the area under that function, right? So what this integration is going to do now? Very simple. It will find the area for each value of frequency omega and gives us a plot of area versus value of frequency omega. Here, even though I haven't integrated it from 0 to infinity, here we can very easily find that at omega is equal to 2, our plot has a maximum peak, and this will be our frequency. Similarly, any odd function which we want to express as sum of sine or want to find from which sine it has made up of, we can simply multiply it with sine omega t and integrate it from 0 to infinity. It will give us peaks at particular frequencies from which that function is made up. And this process is called as Fourier sine transform and can be denoted by fs of omega is equal to integration from 0 to infinity f of t multiplied by sine of omega t dt. Since both sine waves and cosine function behave in a similar way apart from their phase difference of 90 degree, in the same way we can express any even periodic function in terms of cosines, and this process is called as Fourier cosine series. And to find these particular cosine functions, we use the same technique, but it is called as Fourier cosine transform and denoted by fc of omega is equal to integration from 0 to infinity f of t cos of omega t into dt.